Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, December 17th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the NQ. Tough day. Ended up losing 100 points on the day. We'll go over everything in a little while. But I did take back. I was down like 225 points at one point. I don't think I saw the day poorly. I'll tell you what I did and what got me into trouble. Interesting day. NQ. Let's go over how everybody ends up. Righty ends up with a 9-wide pocket and an afternoon rally high in H. They are down on both the weekly and the daily. NQ ends up with a 9-wide POC and an afternoon rally high in G. They also have an inside day. They're still one time framing up on the daily, but I would call it up to balance since they had the inside day. ES goes out with a 10-wide POC. SPY goes out with a 9-wide POC. And they defended the balance low in SPY, right? Now, one other thing. SPY held the gap today. We gapped lower. SPY held it by 4 cents. The balance low on both the daily and the weekly is 602.13. So we got within 60, 70 cents of it this morning. Couldn't even take out the 13th low, though. So tediously, we're holding on in the S&P to balance on the daily and the weekly. Volume better than it's been, but still horrible. Nothing to write home about. We're at 43 million. The average is down to 56.9 million. We're not going to do average, so that average will go down again. We opened, and by the way, SPY is now, we'll go. I think it's 11 or 12 day balance. And it's a tight one. It's only $7. Now, we did, and one other thing, we did get into the rollover gap. But like I said this morning, unless the gap was going to hold or we were going to really trend down hard to the downside, we weren't going to fill it the first time. And ES failed to go down, trend down twice in B and a small one in L. And they did get both sides of the IB, though. NQ did not get the IB low. They got the IB high. But they got the overnight low. Never got the 15-wide POC. NQ spent a lot of time, the majority of the day, I would say, in the middle distribution. They took back the whole triple distribution day from yesterday. But they end with an inside day. Their rollover gap is huge. So we didn't get that. We'll see tomorrow with the Fed what transpires later in the day. And probably more importantly, Thursday morning after everything gets digested. So today, I haven't front ran an overnight in a while, and ES and NQ were both kind of near it. So I actually took a long in NQ right before the opening. They got it right away. I got very fortunate. It rallied and took me out. I actually made a point on it. So basically broke even, but made a point because then after that, they went down pretty good. So I was fortunate on that. After that, then, I made some nice trades on an ebb and flow short in A period. Then when it came back up, I took one against the opening, and I lost on that as it went above the open. I took it off. But I was still up after A period. Now, B period, I took the short to get A's low, so I did well on that, and some ebb and flow shorts. So I was having a good A and B. Then C period came. At first I was telling the room, I don't know if I'm going to take a short on the turnover because I didn't know if they were going to have the energy to get the IB low. But then B pushed lower right before the turnover. So I did. I took a 5-lot short at 50 in B. And C opened and ripped up. Now, I added a 5-lot at 85. Something like that. Around here. That, or 80. Might have been 80. I don't even remember. That came into 70. Took that off. Then, so I was up about 50 points on that add-on. And then we came back down to where I was short. Now, I could have taken that off and had 50 points in my pocket. Right? But I really thought the odds of getting that IB low now with overlapping a lower value, one-time framing, we had the overnight low, was good. So I didn't take it off. And what happened? Went back up again. And then this time I added again. I think I added it around 90, 95. And then I took the whole thing off at around 05. I ended up giving back a... So I had a good, decent A and B. I could have had a decent C. Instead I gave back everything and a lot more when they didn't do it. Now, I'm not going to second guess myself. Those trades generally work for me. Now, I'm also in 2-tick increments, so it's a little different looking than in ones. I'm not going to second guess myself for not taking that 5 off when it came back for unchanged for me. Because, again, I would say 90% of the time, we would take out that IB low. It's just a misfortune that it didn't happen. So, I was down the hole pretty good. I did take a quick 10 lot to get the IB high. So, I took off some of my loss there. Then I thought we were going to get an afternoon pullback in F possibly. Took a small long, took a loss there on that one. And then in K period, we were holding the upper end of the lower distribution. So I took I got 25 points off a long in that, and I actually made some on a long in M period to get back to POC. So, I think I was down. The most I was down at any one point was about 240 points. So, between all those other trades, I ended up losing about 100 points on the day. Not the end of the world, right? I traded my own money the entire day. It was not the end of the world. I was actually thinking, when we popped here, I said, I don't think we're going to go trend, but I did think we might get the 15 wide overnight POC, and I might have reversed and taken a short to come back in. Never did that, though. I should have. So I do think I saw the day well. But again, it's a fact of letting these short-term traders run. And they did run. And I got burnt. Not a big deal. I'm a big boy. Tomorrow we'll get them back. As far as our destinations go, ES as high as 38 and a quarter. 10 wide at 29.50. And then today's low is 14 and a quarter, and the rollover gap gets filled at 84.75. SPY, today's high is 605.17. The gap gets filled at 21 cents, 4 cents. 9 wide at 604.27, and today's low of 602.89. So keep in mind, because SPY's charts are a lot cleaner now. We have today's low of 89. We have yesterday's low, not yesterday's low. Friday's low of 81, and then we have last week's low at 13. So there's 3 lows pretty close to each other. We're going to see what happens if they defend that on Fed Day. And then chart-wise, now remember, tomorrow, I will trade tomorrow as a regular day up until 2 o'clock. After 2, good chance I don't trade again the rest of the day. So hopefully this inside day and NQ gives me an opportunity throughout the day and early afternoon. And then chart-wise, so here's the weekly, right? In SPY, it was a 2-week balance. Look how tight this is. It's absurd. They're going to blow out of this one way or the other. Question is which way? And will it happen this week? If it doesn't happen this week, and it's not happening next week with Christmas in the middle of the week, I would highly doubt it. So if we're going to get any break, either back above the all-time high or back below to go down on the daily, it's going to happen this week, I feel. Right? And in the daily, same thing. Look at this. 12-day balance. Tighter and tighter they get. Today's range is very small, only $2 and 28 cents. And it's not even in the top 10 smallest. Anyway, I hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.